So now, as we talk about the future of the social web, I want to bring out two really important experts in this space. One of them came to the second BlogHer in 2006 and sat poolside to talk about the political blog that she was planning to launch and make even bigger. Today, Arianna Huffington is the chair, president, and editor-in-chief of the Huffington Post Media Group, a nationally syndicated column, and the author of now 14 books, one of which she will be signing in the Expo Hall right after her appearance today. Thrive, the third metric to redefining success and creating a life of well-being, wisdom, and wonder, is published by Crown this year. Arianna launched the Huffington Post in May of 2005, as many of you know, and in 2011 was bought by AOL. The same year, she was named to the Time 100 magazine list of the world's 100 most influential people, and in 2012, the Huffington Post won a Pulitzer Prize for reporting. In 2013, she was named to the Forbes Most Powerful Women list, and today we are going to be asking her what are the big opportunities available to and largely untapped by online influencers. Talking with Arianna is Guy Kawasaki, icon, longtime friend of BlogHer, and now chief evangelist for Canva, which is an online graphic design tool. Formerly, he was an advisor to the Motorola business unit for Google and also chief evangelist for Apple. He himself has 9 books of his own and has another one coming out soon with the inimitable Peg Fitzpatrick. Please help me welcome Guy and Arianna Huffington back to the BlogHer stage.
Hello, my name is Guy Kawasaki, and you obviously are Arianna Huffington, the Arianna Huffington. You know, the last time that I did something with Arianna, I was also interviewing her for a Google Plus Hangout, and I noticed that no matter what I asked, she said what she wanted to say. So, should I just shut up and let you have 30 minutes right now? And I pointed that out. I pointed that out to the audience that this is a very good lesson in PR. It's the message you want to communicate. It's not what the moderator wants to ask. So can I ask a few questions before you
Absolutely.
Tell me what you want to tell? Okay. So first of all, I'll do the plug for you because it's crass if you do it. If I do it, it's PR. Okay. So this is Arianna's new book, great new book called Thrive, and I carry it with me everywhere that I go. Yeah, it's like everywhere.
Everywhere.
Really. Yeah.
Even in bed, I hope.
Yeah. That's a little TMI. So I guess the first question that everybody wants to ask is, generally speaking, how do you thrive? How do you achieve this state?
Well, first of all, just to prove you right, let me just say how excited I am to be here. I was last year in 2006, and the Huffington Post was just a precocious little 1-year-old. And we're mostly a politics site, and I went back and read what I had said, and that's where I announced that we're going to launch Politics Aside, meaning to deal with all the things that make our lives more fulfilling, less stressful, etc. And it's kind of ironic because here we are, 8 years later, and in a way Thrive is kind of a product of all these concerns that I've had about how we live our lives. For me, how I thrive really goes back to 7 years ago when I collapsed from exhaustion, sleep deprivation, and burnout. Hit my head on my desk, broke my cheekbone, got 4 stitches on my right eye, and that's what started me on this journey of redefining what success is and leading my life differently. Because, if you come to in a pool of blood and nobody has shot you, by any sane definition of success, you're not successful. And so now, I really started with sleep. You know, that is for me the keystone habit in terms of how I thrive. Last night I got 8 hours sleep. I don't know how many hours you got. But I find I'm not perfect, I'm a work in progress, but I would say 90% of my time I get my 8 hours sleep. And now in the book I have 55 pages of scientific endnotes to prove that this is really the first thing we need to do to improve our health, our mental clarity, our productivity, and our creativity. So it's really something that is essential, especially for women who think that they need to put sleep and themselves last. Remember, we need to put our own oxygen masks first, as they tell us on aeroplane.
Now, what if someone says, but Arianna, once you get to be Arianna Huffington, you know, top 100 most powerful women in the world according to Forbes, then fine, you can sleep 8 hours. But to get to that point, I have to sleep 4 hours. So what do you say to that?
So what I say is what I told the graduating class at Smith when I gave a commencement speech. I told them that my best advice to them is to sleep their way to the top.
See, now, if I had said that, there would be all kinds of tweets about this misogynist, sexist pig, he's out there.
But, you know, honestly, when I look back at my younger self, the advice I would give myself is stop worrying and get more sleep. Because all of us have that voice of worry in our head. We women more than men, unfortunately, and I call it in the book the obnoxious roommate living in our head, who puts us down, who judges us about the past or worries about the future. Montaigne, you know, the French philosopher, said, there were many terrible things in my life, but most of them never happened. And when we are rested and recharged, we are less likely to worry and more likely to be fully present in whatever it is we are doing, and therefore more productive and more likely to succeed at whatever it is we are doing.
So is there a way to break this cycle that, you know, you work harder so that you can achieve more, so that you can have time to relax? How do you get out of that vicious cycle?
Well, that's a great question, actually. I believe that there are multiple entry points. Most of the time, the entry points are painful. They're like my wake-up call, or worse, you know, a health scare, the loss of a loved one, the breakup of a relationship. But I'm hoping that we can actually learn from each other's painful wake-up calls. So we don't have to have our own. So why should you have your own? Why don't you learn from mine? And that's why I want to invite all of you who have had moments of burnout, like I did, and there are millions of women and men who've had them. I'm hearing them all over my book too, to write about it. Write on your own blog, and then cross-post it on the Huffington Post so that we can help each other. I think really this is the key now. How can we accelerate this global shift to live our lives differently, to thrive, not just survive and succeed? That's already happening, but with this power in this room, we can accelerate it. All you need to do is tell your own story, and also tell your own story of how you thrive. We even started a hashtag campaign, #HowIThrive. And we are learning from each other. And in the process, we'll be able to change the delusion that we need to burn out in order to succeed. That's just a complete delusion invented by men. And we women need to make it very clear there is a different way to do our lives, to succeed at our work, and to also be more fulfilled, less stressed out, and less perpetually exhausted. You know, I just wrote a post about what happens when you type into Google, "why am?" The first autocomplete that comes up is, "why am I so tired?" And the second one is, "why am I always tired?" So that's so sad. You know, we need to do something differently. Because if you think of it, Guy, we have a much better understanding of the state of our smartphones than the state of our being. Like if you have an iPhone, you begin to get alerts, right? 17% of battery remaining, 13% of battery remaining. Well, when I collapsed, I must have been below 0% battery remaining. And the saddest thing is that I didn't even know it, because being tired has become the new normal. And we have to change that.
I think one of the biggest factors in not sleeping and being tired is email. So how do you, Arianna Huffington, who must get 500 emails a day, how do you handle email?
Well, first of all, let me give you out my email address. Because I want you all to write about these things on your own blogs, absolutely on your own blogs, but then cross-post them, because we all learned now that ubiquity is the new exclusivity. You write it for yourselves, and then you post it.
You are just a quote machine. Do you think in 140 characters?
So the more places we post what we write, the greater the distribution. So here's my email address, and then I'll answer your question. My email address is Arianna, with one R and two N's, @HuffingtonPost.com. You know, that's the one good thing. If you found a company, you get a good email address. And for me, the key, I have a kind of email protocol. I send very short answers, because I feel the important thing is to handle it, and you do too. Very short answers.
Only
rather
to
than
you.
Only to me. I'm sorry. You know, and I eliminate certain things. You know, people say, hope you are well, etc. These are just, you don't need all that. Just get right to the subject. And then I don't do email an hour before I go to sleep. I just take my devices, all of them, and gently escort them out of my bedroom. In fact, in Thrive, I have 12 steps of what you can do to thrive. One of them has to do with sleep. But I'm not saying get 8 hours sleep. I'm saying just get 30 minutes more than you're getting now. That's doable, right? I mean, just don't watch House of Cards that night. And also find a Thrive buddy. If you don't have one, find one before you leave the conference. And so let's say if you are tempted to binge watch House of Cards, you can call your Thrive buddy, like your sponsor, you know, in AA, and they can talk you down. And on email, the same thing, because, you know, one of the things that sleep scientific research shows us is that we need a transition period between our waking, always-on life and our sleeping life. And for me, the transition period can be 20 minutes, but it includes having a hot bath, so kind of taking the day, getting rid of the day, whatever happened, the good and the bad, and then reading something that has nothing to do with work, a real book. I love real books. Do you still read real books? No. I write real books. I love real books. I love underlining them. So I read novels, poetry, philosophy, anything. That's why the book is full of quotes, because I read them, I underline them, and then I often just print them and put them all around my room. And my favorite quote right now, incidentally, is by Rumi, who said, live life as though everything is rigged in your favor. Don't you love that? Yeah. Very tweetable.
I think we would love to hear more about this concept of digital detoxification. So,
yes.
Besides putting your devices away at night, what do you do?
Doing a regular digital detox. Well, first of all, let me say that I was doing a conversation yesterday with Padma Warrior, who is the Chief Technology Officer of Cisco. And I now use her as a role model, because she oversees tens of thousands of engineers, but every Saturday she does a digital detox. So I tell everybody, if she can do a digital detox, so can all of us. After all, if you want an older role model, more established role model, how about God? He took the 7th day off. I mean, he worked really hard for 6 days, created heaven and earth, and then he went on what we would today call a digital detox.
Yeah, but how many followers does God have?
More than you and me. me. More than all of us combined. So I think that's a good thing to remember. You know, the idea of the Shabbat. You don't have to be religious to believe in the need for disconnecting from our everyday world to reconnect with ourselves. I think what has happened is that many of us have forgotten that there is a self to reconnect with. That there is that place that whether you're religious or not, it doesn't matter. All of us can acknowledge the truth that we all have in us a place of wisdom, strength, and peace. We all have it. We've all been there occasionally. Nobody's there all the time. So the question is, how can we reconnect with it and course correct and get back to it? That's what sleep, meditation, prayer, whatever it is that you do, fly fishing, all these things that require your full attention, you can't multitask, are essential to help us reconnect. And you know what? Multitasking is the bane of our existence. I'm very glad to see here that I don't see anybody multitasking. Maybe you're all in the back and I can't see you. But you know, multitasking does not exist. It's actually task switching, and it's the most stressful thing you can do. And I live in New York, and you walk down the streets of New York, and you hardly see anybody who is not on their phone at the same time, or worse, texting while walking, which is actually dangerous. And I used to be like that. And I realized how much I was missing. One day I saw a building near my apartment, and I said to a friend, you know, this is so beautiful, the ornamentation at the top is gorgeous. When did it go up? And she said, 1890. So, you know, that's what we miss. That's why one of the third metrics that I talk about in the book is wonder, you know, our capacity to wonder our life, to notice the beauty. And you've written about that, Guy. You've written about to stop glamorizing being busy. You know how people say that like a badge of honor? I've now changed that in my own language. Like, if I was asked to do something and I couldn't do, I would say I'm swamped, or I'll get back to you when I come up for air, you know, all these drowning metaphors. And now, you know, I learned that no is a complete sentence. Did you know that?
You are just the soundbite machine. We should write a book called like the
Thrive.
Wisdom. Right, the wisdom according to Arianna. The Arianna way. There's a lot.
We'll write it together.
We kind of got on religion, so maybe we can dive that a little deeper. What's the concept, or what's your approach to giving back as a part of thriving?
Yes. So giving is the fourth pillar of thriving. So the way, just to recap that I see it, is we've defined success just in terms of these two metrics, money and power, and that's really like trying to sit on a two-legged stool. Sooner or later you fall off. The third metric, the third leg of the stool, consists of our well-being, and we talked about that, you know, sleep, renewal time, wisdom, how do we connect to our own wisdom to make better decisions, wonder, and the fourth is giving. And giving is just absolutely essential to being a full human being. And very often, you know, we talk about networking, where actually the best networkers are givers. Right? You agree with that?
Yes.
The best networkers are people who walk into a room and they don't think, what can I get from you? They think, what can I give to you or you? How can I help? Who can I connect you with? And you know, it is just amazing. Then these are the people you want to do business with. It's just a natural back and forth. And you know, my mother was like that. So, I mean, the book is dedicated to her. And you know, I grew up with no money in a one-room apartment in Athens. But my mother always made me feel that we were bigger than our circumstances. And no matter how little we had, she felt we could give more. It may not be things, it may be just of ourselves. She always said, never have an impersonal relationship with anyone. You know, the barista in the coffee shop, the cleaning crew in your office. That's one of the steps in Thrive. Just make a personal connection with people that otherwise you would take for granted. And for me, that's how giving begins.
Okay, okay. So we have 2 minutes and 22 seconds. I'm going to give you pairs of things, and I want you to tell me which one you like better.
I want to just say to all the women in the room,
Okay.
I want to say to all the women in the room that this is an incredibly male thing to do. Men are always either or.
Yeah.
Women are this and that.
Okay.
But we'll play their game. We'll play their game. I just want you to know that we know better, okay?
Okay. Okay. I just want you to answer the question. Okay? Now, I realize that you depend on advertising, so if I ask you anything that puts you in a difficult place, you can just say both. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. London or Paris?
Oh, London. I lived there for 10 years.
Mac or Windows?
Both.
iOS or Android?
Both.
Sushi or barbecue?
Sushi.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Okay. Burberry or Versace?
Oh, Burberry.
Okay. Audi or Mercedes?
Prius, Toyota Prius.
Now, you're not running against Schwarzenegger anymore. You could.
I know, but I'm still driving a Toyota Prius.
Okay. Jimmy Choo or Manolo?
Oh, definitely Manolo, because
Okay.
you know what? I like very short heels. Like kitten heels.
Okay.
And Jimmy Choo doesn't make them. They only make super comfortable shoes made by men who hate women.
Some Jimmy Choo social media person just had a heart attack. That person just went to work for United Airlines. Okay. Nikon or Canon?
Nikon. I use my iPhone.
iPhone, okay. Pinterest or Instagram?
Both.
Twitter or Facebook?
Oh, definitely both and more and everything,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Daniel Craig or Sean Connery?
Oh, I mean, Sean Connery, I'm so old.
Harvard or Stanford?
Yale, that's where my daughters went.
Okay. Shatner or Takei?
Wow. I'm just hearing here. TK.
Takei,
Yes.
okay.
I'm just hearing the room.
I don't want their choice, I want your choice.
I know, but I love them.
Okay. How about, I kind of know this answer already, ebook, printed book?
Oh, printed book.
Printed book.
Definitely.
Okay, how about Kawasaki Godin?
So I love Seth. I love you, and I'm here with you. So.
I'm afraid to ask anymore, frankly. I think I should quit while I'm ahead there.
Yes,
yeah,
I think you should
probably,
quit while you're ahead. And
see,
yes.
I as a man realize that.
I know, I love that. And you should leave me the last word, don't you?
Yeah, I am.
So here's my last word. What I've discovered as I've started on this thriving journey is that what makes it very hard is that the world keeps sending us constant signals. How we can get ahead, how we can climb faster, how we'll just take care of ourselves later, how we can put our lives on hold until we achieve the next thing and then the next thing. And so I have a quote by Ian Thomas that I love, and I repeat to myself during those times when the world is closing in. And the quote goes as follows: "Every day, the world will grab you by the hand and tell you this is important, and this is important, and this is important, and you must worry about this, and you must worry about that. And you must take your hand back and put it on your heart and say, no, this is important. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.